Hello friends and welcome to Ouroboros Tarot. Today we are looking into, I just got distracted. There's candle wax. We're looking into how they feel now that you are gone. There is going to be an extended reading today for this reading, so if that's something that you're interested in, please feel free to join the channel membership. But I have 3 piles for you guys to choose from today. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's, and I will see you in a minute. Hi pile 1. Today's pick a card reading is looking into how it is that the person on your mind feels now that you are gone. So we are going to look into how it is that they are remembering this connection, how it is that they are remembering you, how they feel currently about this no contact situation, as well as pull channeled messages and advice in the end. There will be an extension to this reading today, pile 1, and in the extension we're going to be looking into how it is that they think you feel about this no contact situation. We'll look into what action it is that they are wanting to take toward you, as well as what the most likely outcome is between the two of you in the near future based on current energy. So let's go ahead and start. So we're first going to look into how this person is remembering this connection, how they're looking back on it now. And for that we have instinct. We have number 50, the cauldron. We have the despicable face. We have the shaman. We have number 60, limits and connections. And we have garlic with the keyword being service. I'm also going to go ahead and just pull these cards now. When it comes to how this person is remembering you, looking back on you. And for that we have number 34, the reputable. The affirmation is, I live my life as if my guardian angels are watching over me. We also have the gossip. The light attributes are awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust, and the shadow attributes are thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. We have the oyster, the spider with the keyword being composition, and we have number 17, the creator. The affirmation is, I love playing the wonder-filled game of life creatively. Okay. So the biggest thing that I felt immediately after having pulled all of these cards, the card that stood out the most to me, the strongest, was this despicable face card. There's a feeling of, maybe not a feeling, but there's an element here to this connection that when they look back on it, that consists of shame. And there's lots of reasons as to why this could be, but I think that because this was such a strong card that I pulled, there's probably several different messages that are coming through with this card for your particular person. And what it feels like to me is that they're looking back on this connection as one that really challenged them in some sort of way, to open up, to be more vulnerable, or to take a stronger look at themselves in the mirror. And when it comes to vulnerability, a lot of the time there can be shame that kind of comes with it, not necessarily because the other person is shaming or creating shame by any means, but more so because of the inner monologue or dialogue that we have with ourselves. And I think that there's shame that came with the challenge of having to be vulnerable for some of you. At the same time, though, I feel like there's also a sense of shame looking back on this connection and perhaps how they approached it in the long run. Because everything here, besides this despicable face card, is incredibly positive. the cauldron, limits and connections, instinct, service. These are all forward-thinking cards, and they're all cards that are rooted in abundance, and most specifically in abundance with others, in abundance with relationships. And I feel like they're looking back on this connection as one that had so much potential to be something incredibly positive, incredibly healing, it had the opportunity to teach a lot of things to the both of you. And I think that those lessons have come through for this person. However, with instinct here and limits and connections, I get the feeling that this person's fears or your fears got the better of this connection, or perhaps both. But it feels like this person feels as though it's such a shame that this connection went in the direction in which it did. Another thing that I think is really interesting is that, so I pulled these two cards first. I pulled the reputable and the creator. And when looking at this creator card, I noticed this spider in the corner. It really stood out to me. And then when I continued to pull cards, this spider card came out as well. And spiders do represent creativity. They do represent being able to build something miraculously, to come up with a plan, to make something incredibly beautiful. And it's the same energy as this creator card. I love playing the wonder-filled game of life creatively. So that's one thing that really stuck out to me. Another thing that really stuck out to me was in this card, the reputable, we have two people here. And in the guidebook, it specifically talks about how these two people, if you take a look at them very briefly, it may appear as though these two people are gossiping. However, these two people have wings on their back. They're angels. And what this is indicative of is that they aren't gossiping. They come to speak the truth. The words that they share with others is rooted in truth. And I think it's interesting that this card has come out along with the gossip, because it feels like this person is looking back on you as somebody who spoke the truth, as somebody who perhaps called this person out or found out a mistruth, a deceptive, some sort of deception of some kind, and held that person accountable. Not only that, but they're remembering you as somebody who truly was selfless in the sense of maybe not self-sacrificing, but in terms of being aware of the needs and emotional well-being of those around you. And it kind of feels like they're also remembering you as somebody who perhaps didn't realize how incredibly powerful you truly radiate, like how much power you radiate from yourself. It could be that. It could also be that this person didn't realize the treasure and the specialness within you when the two of you were in contact. And it could very well be both. But this person seems to be looking back at you as somebody who is very powerful and capable of creating the life it is that you want, creating the life it is that you deserve. And I kind of wonder if for a lot of you, you are artistic in some sort of way. Perhaps it's not something that you're actively practicing or working towards, but there's definitely an element here of artistic abilities, or even being a muse of some kind for this person. whatever the case may be, even if in the past you perhaps had some sort of falling out with yourself in terms of self-respect, or in terms of, I don't know, holding your head high, this person doesn't look back and see those cringy things that perhaps you're ruminating on. They're seeing you as somebody who is a force to be reckoned with. And in all honesty, I kind of get the feeling that for a lot of you, this person really looks up to you, whether they've admitted it to you or not. I think that there's an energy here of others seeing a specialness or a light within you, and in the past, others have tried to take that light away. Whether it was intentional or subconscious. And this person very well could have been one of those people who tried to take that light away. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the second portion of this, which is how it is that they feel now that you're gone. How is it that pile one's person feels now that pile one is gone? Okay, we have the Eight of Wands, the Page of Cups. We have the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Wands. Why is the Eight of Wands here? We have the Four of Swords. Why is the Page of Cups here, Spirit? We have the High Priestess. Why is the Two of Cups here, Spirit? We have the Sun. Why is the Queen of Cups here? We have the Three of Pentacles. And why is the Knight of Wands here? We have the Five of Cups. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Empress. The Empress is giving me the same energy as the Creator. In the image of this Creator card, where did it go? This woman that's here at the, I think she's sitting on sand, or maybe she's by a river, but this woman is with child, and the doll that's sitting next to her is representative of the child that she's going to give birth to. And the Empress is a card about fertility as well. So there's a really strong message coming through here in terms of how they see you. There's something very almost ethereal that's coming through. Very intuitive. A lot of intuitive energy coming through here. This person still feels very connected to you, is what I would say. And I would also say that they feel as though they've hit a rut of some sorts. Whereas when I was looking at how they are remembering you, there was such an expansive energy. Here, when it comes to how they're feeling, it feels as though that expansive energy was taken away from them once you left. Like, this person doesn't feel as though they're expanding currently. They also, I would say, desire to talk with you and don't feel as though this no contact situation is something that's going to be permanent. I'm going to clarify. I'm just going to get one more card. Why is the Page of Cups and the High Priestess here? Please clarify the Page of Cups and the High Priestess. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands reversed and Death. This person feels incredibly sorry. They feel a deep sense of remorse, and they don't feel as though there's anything in which they could do in order to express that accordingly, in order to make it right. I would also say that they're unsure of how you feel. They've had a wake-up call. They've had a realization. And the realization is that they rejected or denied or blocked off the opportunity for love and the opportunity for healing. And they see it now for what it is. I would say that if this is a connection that has been in no contact for quite a bit of time, or a little bit of time has passed enough for things to not feel so intense, this person's fears, their anxieties, their self-limiting beliefs have kind of eased up. And with this has come the realization, the dawning of what it is that they have lost now that they no longer feel the need to self-protect. There's a really strong desire here to work on things with you. And a deep sense of loss. I feel as though with this loss of expansive energy, this expansive feeling having been taken away when you left, there is a lack of inspiration in this person's life. This person feels a great deal of sadness. And I also it also feels like they feel as though you're doing better without them. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Let's get some channeled messages. What is it that pile one's person wants to say? I'm upset and I need some time to cool down. I'm busy with work right now and it requires my attention. I'm not sure if we both feel the same way about each other. I keep being drawn back to you and I can't quite explain why. I made the wrong turn, and honestly, the grass wasn't greener over there. I kind of wonder, especially with this card in particular, that I'm busy with work right now and it requires my attention, especially because it's coming out over the Eight of Wands and the Four of Swords. I wonder if for some of you, especially if it resonated for you when I was talking about how there's this muse-like energy, I wonder if they feel lost in their artistic endeavors or in their endeavors that bring them joy, because you brought them a great deal of inspiration. And I don't necessarily know. I don't see anything here indicative of anger besides this anger card. And I kind of wonder if it's more so a message of them acknowledging that perhaps you need time. But again, it goes hand in hand with this message of them not necessarily feeling as though this is a permanent ending. But they do feel confused about about how you're feeling. Yeah. let's go ahead and get some affirmations before we close out this portion of the reading and move on into the extension. What advice is there for pile 1 when it comes to this connection? When I lead from a place of love, people respect me. I seek out happy people who inspire me to be great. I cherish every cell in my body. These are all very beautiful cards to receive, pile 1. It feels like these cards are kind of affirming, especially if it resonated in the sense of your light being stomped out by others, or this person having stolen a spark of your light. This is confirmation that you've made the right decision to kind of distance yourself from that person and other people like them who are keeping you at their level. Obviously, take them as they resonate for you first and foremost, but that is what I'm seeing for you guys today. In the extension, we're going to be looking into how it is that they think you feel. We'll look into what action it is that they want to take towards you, as well as what the most likely outcome is for your situation based on current energies. So if I see you in the extension, I'll see you in a minute. Otherwise, I hope that I will have the opportunity to read for you in another video soon. Bye. Hi, pile 2. So today's pick a card reading is looking into how it is that they're feeling now that you're gone. And we're going to go ahead and look into how they're remembering the connection, how they're remembering and looking back on you, how they're feeling during this no contact period. We'll also pull channeled messages. There is going to be an extension of this reading today. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can go ahead and join the channel membership. I will put a link in the description box of this video. But in the extension, we're going to be looking into how they think that you're feeling currently. We'll look into what action they want to take toward you, as well as what the most likely outcome is in the near future for the two of you based on current energies. So to start, pile 2, when it comes to how they're remembering your connection, we have dissipating and we have bearberry, with the keyword being strength. We also have number 46, pushing upward. We have chaos. We have the maiden. We have lead. And we have number 4, youthful folly. When it comes to how they are remembering you, pile 2, we have storyteller. The light attributes are ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. And the shadow attribute is making up tales that harm others. We have number 39, the protector. The affirmation is, I respect people's boundaries and require the same from them. We have the hawk, with the keyword being house. And we have tarantula. Okay, so how are they remembering you and your connection? I kind of like the biggest takeaway that I'm getting from all of these cards together, like the big takeaway or the key story that I'm seeing is that this person feels as though you offered a lot more or brought more to the table in this connection than they did. And it feels like this was a connection that was very, very special in this person's eyes. With the maiden here and youthful folly and pushing upward, it feels like this person is looking at this connection now that some time has passed, or now that they've had a new opportunity for a new perspective, and they're seeing this connection as one that really deserved an effort, really deserved all of the effort that was possible. And it seems as though, at least on their end when it comes to how they're viewing you, you did give it a lot of effort. We're not looking really at their energy, But it does feel as though a lot of effort was placed on trying to make this connection work. However, at the same time, it feels like there was a wall or a dead end. There's heaviness here. It feels like this person is seeing this connection as one that, like, it almost feels like the energy of like someone's first love, or an opportunity to experience something completely new. And there's something very special about that. But with this newness comes this feeling of not feeling prepared, or not having all of the knowledge and wisdom that comes with experience. And because of this, some mistakes were made. And I don't see this person looking back at this connection as one that they hold resentment towards. It feels more so like they're realizing that this connection was most certainly holding you back. But I think that for the both of you, this connection was meant to help the two of you grow and gain awareness and insight and wisdom in ways in which you hadn't in the past. And there's almost a feeling of acceptance here for this connection having come to a crossroads, and it being time to continue on your journey alone. And I see that crossroads again with the tarantula when it comes to how this person is remembering you. The tarantula is a card about coming to a crossroads and taking action towards the things that are going to make you happy. And I feel as though this person recognizes that this connection was no longer going to provide you the happiness and joy that it once had for whatever reason. It feels like maybe you outgrew this connection, or the two of you outgrew each other in some sort of way. And there's bittersweetness that comes with that. But also, I mean, with chaos here, it feels like there may have been a lot of ups and downs for this connection. And now that this connection is no longer in contact, it could very well be that you're more able to focus on your own joy. They're remembering you as somebody, like I almost get with the protector here, as well as with Bearberry. There's this like maternal energy, or this mama bear energy that's coming through. And I don't necessarily know if that will resonate for all of you, but it does feel as though this person is remembering you as somebody who definitely took care of them in a way, or definitely had more knowledge or more skills or more wisdom to share with them than they had to share with you. And it feels like they're remembering you as somebody who did all you could for them, to help them grow, or to help them reach their own potential. And there's this feeling of like comfort that I'm seeing here with the hawk. There's this feeling of like them remembering you as somebody who they could trust. They're remembering you as somebody that they felt at home with, like you felt like home. And I feel like for some of you, there's even this element here of like you being somebody who was incredibly fun or entertaining to be around. There's definitely a creative energy here. There's definitely a lot of wisdom with this storyteller. There's this wisdom that's been passed down, that's been shared, that you've expressed to this person, that they have gained from. But that's what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and look into how it is that they are now feeling now that you're gone. So we're going to go ahead and pull tarot for that. How is pile 2's person feeling now that pile 2 is gone? Okay, so we have the Page of Swords, we have the Ace of Wands. How's pile 2's person feeling? We have the 3 of Swords. We have the 8 of Pentacles. How are they feeling now that pile 2 is gone? We have Justice. Why is the Page of Swords here? We have the Two of Pentacles. Why is the Ace of Wands here? Why is the Ace of Wands here, Spirit? We have the Two of Wands. Why is the Three of Swords here? We have the Ace of Cups and the Two of Swords. Why is the Eight of Pentacles here? We have the Magician. And why is Justice here? We have the Seven of Swords. And on the back of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. This is interesting. The Seven of Swords having come out, there could have been a betrayal or deception of some kind that they feel as though really knocked this connection out of balance, knocked it off of its course. And there's remorse here. There's definitely remorse here with Justice having come out, as well as the Page of Pentacles or the Page of Cups. The biggest feeling that I'm getting is that this person feels sorry. This person feels sorry, and I would also say with the Three of Swords having come out, this person feels devastated, incredibly hurt. And I would also say they feel stuck in this hurt. They're not necessarily sure how to relieve or alleviate or move on from the pain that they're feeling. Right now, I would say that this person feels a great deal of tunnel vision towards wanting to reconnect, towards wanting to have some sort of fresh start, and they don't see that there are other options or other routes they can take to heal themselves without putting that responsibility on you, without needing you to have a certain reaction or decision made on your end. I do feel as though this person feels inspired in some capacity to work on themselves, to begin focusing on something that can empower them. But it feels like they're on the cusp of this. It doesn't feel like it's something that has been realized entirely yet. They also feel as though they're at a crossroads. I want to clarify, why is the Page of Swords and the Two of Pentacles here? We have the Emperor. It feels like there's a little bit of resistance here on your person's end to, like I said, they're on the cusp of wanting to begin taking responsibility, but there's resistance. There's a curiosity of what it might entail to take responsibility for where they're at, where they're going, what it is that they're planning. But at the same time, when that curiosity kind of hits, there's also this, it feels like they're shrinking into their shell. Like it's something that feels uncomfortable for them. And they're still weighing their options. They're still weighing different ideas. I don't think that this person knows how to make this connection work or make right a wrong that they've done. It feels like there's stagnancy here, or a feeling of being trapped in not knowing how to fix something. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and pull some channeled messages. Let's see what comes through. What is it that pile 2's person wants to say to pile 2? Okay, so we have, I'm not ready to talk. I will only push you away. Within a year or more. We have stubborn with ... What is it that pile 2's person wants to say? I'm sweeping away toxicity to make room for what's truly important. And it's easier to block everything out right now. I'd rather ignore my emotions. Yeah, this person is definitely in an energy of resistance. There's acknowledgement here that there was some sort of toxicity on their end. There's acknowledgement of this, but when it comes to wanting to take responsibility and actually acting on it, there's resistance. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice before we close this reading out. What advice is there for pile 2 when it comes to this connection? There is no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. I am being guided to learn and grow. Today, I consciously choose to think loving thoughts, take compassionate actions, and bring forth peaceful energy. And I cherish every cell in my body. It feels like what these cards are kind of indicating is that it's really important currently to focus on yourself and taking care of yourself. Things seem to be happening in a way that is meant to work for you, work with you. And I would also say that if that mama bear energy, if this energy came through, really resonated for you, there's a message here of needing to allow this person the opportunity to take responsibility, to take care of themselves while you take care of yourself, to put yourself first. Okay, pile 2, well, that's what I'm seeing for you guys today. If I don't see you in the extended reading, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I will have another chance to read for you again soon. Bye! Hi pile 3, and welcome to your reading. We are looking into how it is that they are now feeling now that you're gone. And how we're going to do this is we're going to look at how your person is looking back on your connection, how they're looking at you, remembering you. We'll look into how it is that they are now feeling now that you're gone, and then we will pull channeled messages. There is going to be an extension to this reading today, and in the extension we're going to be looking into how they think you're feeling. We're going to look into what action it is that they would like to take toward you, as well as what the most likely outcome is going to be in the near future based on current energies. So, to start, pile 3, when it comes to how your person is remembering this connection, we have guilt, wild rose with the keyword being clarity, we have glass, the hunter, dissolution, and number 47, oppression. Okay. And then when it comes to how this person is remembering you, pile 3, we have the liberator. The light attributes are freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns, and the shadow attributes are imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. We have the zebra, the snake, the child eternal. The light attributes are determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes, and the shadow attributes are an inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. And number 32, the lustful. The affirmation is, I embrace my individuality and sexuality as sacred gifts. Okay. So how are they looking back at this connection, and how are they looking back at you, pile 3? It feels like they're seeing this connection as one that really was a catalyst for this person to find themselves. I get the feeling that this person felt incredibly lost, or perhaps they felt as though you were lost too, until the two of you came together and suddenly you were able to see things more clearly. It feels like the two of you very well could have lost sight of your own individuality in this connection during the time in which you were together. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but there really is this message coming through of losing oneself to find oneself, or the ego dying because emotions are stronger than the ego. So there's definitely this feels like they're looking back at this connection as one that was profound for them, profound in shaping their perspective, and shifting their views on life, or on perhaps their own spirituality. But at the same time, with oppression here and guilt, it feels like there's a couple of things coming through. Like, either this person genuinely felt as though they were not good enough for you, and this could have been because they genuinely weren't, or it could have been something that had more so to do with perhaps like, and there could be truth to it, like in the sense of perhaps there was more going on in their life than that needed their attention for the time being than what it is that they could provide you. But it feels like regardless of what this guilt stems from, they're looking back at this connection as one where the two of you were being pulled in many different directions after a certain point. And I think when they look back at you, well, I haven't really touched on the hunter yet. Let's go back to how they're remembering this connection. I'm sorry. It seems like this was a connection that was really, really, really desired, really wanted. This was something that seemed like a dream come true, or it was truly the prize that they really wanted to work for. And I get the feeling that they feel as though they failed, or this connection failed when they didn't want it to. But with that being said, when they're looking at you, they're remembering you as somebody who was, I feel as though you were somebody who already had a really strong sense of self, or this was something that was built throughout the connection. But with the lustful here, as well as with the liberator and the zebra, it feels like the biggest takeaway that's coming through here for me is that shame was not something that you allowed to be a ruler or an influence over the decisions that you made, or over the choices or the ways in which you expressed yourself. You seemed to be, from their perspective, somebody who was incredibly in power, who had a lot of power within themselves, simply because there was so much self-love here, and there was the courage that it takes in order to live authentically. I think also with the lustful here, another thing that's obviously coming through is that they're looking back at you and the connection that the two of you shared, and they're remembering their attractedness to you. They felt very attracted to you. There was definitely a very strong physical connection here that has chosen to show up in the cards because it's still something that is coming through for them. Another thing that's coming through with the snake and the child eternal, is kind of a message that's come through in all of the decks, or all of the piles today, actually. And there's this energy of creativity, or this energy of somebody who understands the potential that they have and goes after it. I just feel very strongly as though they're remembering you as somebody who lived freely, who lived fearlessly, lives fearlessly, and who perhaps even helped this person free themselves from wounds from their own childhood that potentially were holding them back in the past. I think that you helped this person remember who they truly are. Yeah. Let's go ahead and look into how they're feeling. How is pile 3's person feeling now that pile 3 is gone? So we have the King of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles. How is pile 3's person feeling now that pile 3 is gone? We have the Queen of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. Why is the King of Swords here? We have Justice. Why is the 2 of Pentacles here? We have the 8 of Swords. Why is the 4 of Pentacles here? We have the 2 of Cups. Why is the Queen of Wands here? We have the King of Wands. Why is the 5 of Pentacles here? The 4 of Wands. And then on the back of the deck, we have the 9 of Swords. I would say that this person is not doing all that great. They're not feeling very good without you. We have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands here, and they're clarifying each other. It feels like this person is recognizing or has come to a conclusion of some kind about you in which you are their partner. But they're holding this information, they're holding these feelings very, very close to their hearts. There's this desire to be reunited. There's still a lot of love here. But for whatever reason, this person is choosing to keep this to themselves, is feeling very reserved about the feelings that they still have. And I think that a lot of this has to do with the fact that they feel rejected in some sort of way, or they fear that there will be rejection in some sort of way. It feels like they've lost their stability. They don't feel as though they have their home anymore in a way. It almost feels like with this 4 of Wands, the image to me is kind of giving me this feeling of somebody who feels as though there's an energy of longing here, of being on the outside of what it is that they desire and having to look at it from a distance rather than participate in it. And they just don't feel very confident. They don't feel confident, and they're trying to not allow these fears to overpower the decisions that they make. But there's so much anxiety here. This person stays up at night thinking about this. And they feel as though the best thing they can do is approach this from a logical perspective rather than an emotional one. But I think that they're also they're questioning whether or not this is truly the best approach, or whether or not their ego is talking to them and filling up their thoughts with fears. There's a little bit of confusion here. Confusion and analysis paralysis and a fear of rejection, all while understanding that the feelings that this person has for you run very deep. Yeah, let's go ahead and Get some channeled messages. What is it that pile 3's person would like to say to pile 3? I love the way you make me feel, but I can't give the same in return. This is, again, that energy that was coming through in the beginning of there being a memory of feeling guilt. I just want to have fun with you. I will be writing you a message. And my life is falling apart and I'm struggling. And then on the back of the deck we have, I feel like I can't get through to you. Please let me in. They don't feel good enough for you. That's the biggest message that's coming through. They don't feel good enough for you. And they feel as though if they were to be vulnerable, they would be met with rejection of some kind. Yeah, let's go ahead and get you guys some advice. What advice is there for pile 3? We have, I am a light worker in disguise. I don't have to talk about it. I can just be it. All that I need is coming to me in ways I could never have imagined. And we have, attacking others is an attack on myself. I choose to release this now. Interesting. I feel like what these cards are really, really honing in on is that if there are desires on your end to exchange words with this person, but in a way that would cause more harm than it would help heal or move forward, it may be best to take a moment prior to acting on that decision or prior to acting on that desire. And with this, all that I need is coming to me in ways that I could never have imagined. It feels like your guides are kind of wanting you to know that there is more to be revealed than what has been revealed thus far. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys today. So if I don't see you in the extension, thank you so much for giving me this chance to read for you today. And hopefully I will have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye, pile 3.